Welcome again to the sixth house. I am Alicia Moon, where I am here on my lunch break on my third day of my fast. But there was just something that I really kind of wanted to touch bases on. I have seen a few patients this morning, and a lot of the complaints are the same. And right now, I'm seeing a pediatric population, and we're seeing a lot of chronic issues in children that we just should not see. And to be honest, these chronic issues should not be in adults either. But one of the suggested tests that we that is often recommended is to check a vitamin D level. And I really got to thinking about that. With all this talk about vitamin D, is vitamin D in a synthetic form even safe for you? Is it a necessary supplement to take? And I'm asking that because of the importance of vitamin D. Anything that the body needs, the body can usually synthesize. For instance, there are many vitamins and minerals. However, there are only four vitamins that the body actually stores itself. Vitamin D is one of those. So for the body to store it, that means that it is in preparation for periods of time where it may be low. Okay, so when they mention that there's a risk for us being vitamin D deficient in the winter, since the sun is our primary source of vitamin D, then the body should have already stored it. So I started looking at a few things that may have contributed to the recommendations that we take vitamin D in the first place. And the only thing I can come up with is money. I say that because, well, it's not even just money. I think that there is a greater agenda, if you will, behind this vitamin D deficiency. Why are we even testing for it if the body stores it? Well, there probably is great reason. For one thing, we have to look at how vitamin D is even made in the body. Of course, vitamin D requires our healer, the sun, for synthesis. It's made in the skin, in the epidermis. Epi means it's on top. So as soon as that sun comes in contact with the skin, then vitamin D synthesis is one of the processes that occurs, and for good reason, because vitamin D is essential for bone health, for cardiovascular health, for your ability to use fats in a way that will encourage the use of energy, in a beneficial way and in an optimal way. Um, Vitamin D also assists with mental clarity. It helps to fight depression as well. So it's needed in every cell in the body. And when there is a true deficiency in it, then the body just doesn't function like it should. So, with good reason, we may be looking at vitamin D. So, I'm not going to say it's not for good reason that they're not looking at it. But again, is it that we need to supplement vitamin D levels because we are expecting it to be low at some point if the sun has moved farther away from the if the earth has moved farther away from the sun than during this time of the year than it is at other times of the year. So with this vitamin D, with the supplements, and I'm going in a logical order where you can follow me because my mind is really, really racing here with this because I'm a little perturbed and hence I've taken off my lab coat. But with a supplement, any supplement, there may be several forms of that vitamin or mineral in its natural state. However, when a company sets out to create this supplement because someone has decided, hey, you know what, let's look up some vitamin D. Let's look at vitamin D levels because we know that the sun is not as close to the earth during this time of the year. So that's a no-brainer. So they're going to capitalize off of this. But when when companies set out to create these supplements, they have several loopholes that they can go through. And I'm hoping I can get all this in without having to stop and start again. But let me give you an example. Vitamin E in its natural form comes in at least eight forms in order for it to be complete. Okay? So when making a vitamin E supplement, the company only has to get one of those forms in their supplement, and then they can label it as vitamin E. With vitamin D, there are two forms that you can use, that you can get. Vitamin D2, vitamin D3. The companies are not required to sell them together. Even with that being the case, it's still synthetic. Vitamin D is extremely important for fighting off disease processes like cancer. But what's interesting to note is in its synthetic form, it has been known to increase the risk of cancer. So, if my body is making it on its own with my exposure to the sun, then it's storing it. You know, they want to tell us in excess we are in danger. But if it's storing it, the body is going to store what is needed, get rid of the excess. Then why am I taking a supplement? Or what is, if my levels are low, what has happened to my body to prevent me from making it? What are some of the things that is going on with me that is preventing me from making vitamin D that I need, that I now have to go out and buy something that my body makes? Well, it's simple. It's the products that they're selling us, that they tell us our skin needs. One, sunscreen. They want to say that darker skinned people are at greater risk for being vitamin D deficient, which really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, especially when vitamin D should be higher in your darker skinned people because we are from the sun. We are, if you want to go back to our origin, we are from areas where the sunlight is prevalent. So, what is it that is causing me to be deficient in this vitamin D, therefore putting me at greater risk for disease processes? Well, not just the products, but maybe it's the clothing that I'm wearing, maybe it's the food that I'm eating. It's the fact that you're asking me to put on some of these products and say that they are needed for me. You say that the melanin competes with it, but even if it competes with the ultraviolet rays, which are responsible for helping the body to synthesize or make vitamin D, that means I need to be outside more. That should be my number one recommendation from my physician, is that you should have sun exposure on a daily basis. Well, we're inside working most of the time. My office has no windows whatsoever. So what my physician should be looking at is the things that I am doing on a daily basis, on a routine basis, that prevents me from getting out to that sun, because that is my healer. As opposed to telling me that I need to put myself at greater risk for cancer by taking a synthetic form of some vitamin that is supposed to decrease my risk for cancer. It's a money-making venture. It is definitely a money-making venture. So what I'm saying to you is, do your research. Otherwise, the industries will be capitalizing off of you. Instead, they are saying, drink milk. Milk does not naturally have vitamin D in it. And what I did was I looked up the consumption of dairy. Since we're so vitamin D deficient, is it even beneficial to drink the milk if I'm still going to be vitamin D deficient? On an average, it said that the American population drinks 276 pounds of dairy a year. and I'm still vitamin D deficient, well, not I, because I'm not going to have mine tested. Plus, I get adequate sunlight. I make sure that I go out in the sun. I even have a sunroom to make sure that I have adequate sunlight because I'm not going to place myself at a greater risk. I want to reach optimal health, and I'm not going to be able to do that if I keep taking in these supplements or if I keep using these skin products. So, in saying that, when you are buying skin products, try to make sure that you are buying products that have the least amount of chemicals that you can find. Because, of course, naturally, the chemicals are going to interfere with your body's natural process. And I know that Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret smell some really good skin products. They smell so good, rather. But are they impeding your health? There are some natural products out there that smell just as good. And you can use natural products that enhance the smell if that's what you're looking for. Use a natural vanilla extract or a natural lemon extract or your natural orange extract. Just combine different spices or essential oils, and you'll have a lovely scent for your skin. And while you're smelling good, you'll also be feeling good because you will not have filled your body with synthetic products that reduce your ability to keep yourself healthy. Again, this is my lunch break. Thank you for joining us here at the Sixth House, where our goal is to reach optimal health. Thank you.